Fans of the Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40,000, God engines, and engaging in melee when you really should be using a gun, thank you very much for joining me for an out-of-the-pack review of the Arioch Power Claw for the Warlord Battle Titan by Forge World. Picking up from a couple of months ago when I last shared part of my Mars Pattern Warlord Titan, here we are again picking up that story once more. And what we've got here is the last kit that I've got as part of that build that we're going to look at. That will leave one of the kit to look at, which is the actual main body of the Titan, but that's like a special review in itself. Here we're going to unbox this particular kit, the Arioch Power Claw, have a look at it, see what it's like, have a look at the instructions, and also just check what the quality is like. I bought this as a weapon option for my Warlord, so I've got a total of 3 weapons. I've got the Bellicosa Volcano Cannon, the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator, and then also this one, and I'm going to magnetize the armaments. I picked this kit up back at the Horus Heresy weekend of 2016, so I've had it for quite a while, and that's why it's looking a little bit dog-eared on the corners. And this is actually one of the very first copies of the kit that was released. So it's actually, I've had it out of the pack. It's a really nice model, but I'm still going to share it with you all the same. Let's dive on in. So it comes in one of these kind of, I don't know, short wide boxes that Forge World occasionally use for some of their models, and it's, as you can see, it's pretty full of parts. It comes with the usual packing sheet, and this is packed by RR on the 3rd of February in 2016, so this was literally a week before the event, so this is fresh off the production line, this one. And then let's see what we've got inside. So we've got a whole host of things wrapped in bubble wrap. There we go. So what we've got is actually, so I'll put the bubble wrap to one side. See if we can do that and keep the box in shot. There we go. We have a bag of components, and then we also have the main body of the Power Claw itself, which is this chunky piece of resin. This kit costs, when I bought it, I think it was £85. I don't know if it's gone up to 90 now. It's one of the more expensive weapon options for Warlord Titan, and that's down to not its size, but as usual with Forge World kits, the cost driver before the size is the number of components, and this has a lot of parts. The other thing that comes with the kit is the instructions. I've unpacked this and I keep this out, and it's with all my other Warlord instructions, hence why it's not in the box. If you like the fluff, we'll have a pause and have a little read there, and then we get a picture of a Warlord with the Power Claw attached. So this is the CAD rendered style, and we get a list of the components, an exploded diagram showing you all the different bits and pieces, a little guide, how to prepare the model, and then the actual construction guide as well. So I've not built this yet, so I can't comment yet on how effective these instructions are. I suspect it's pretty straightforward actually, because there's not much to do. Essentially, you've got the body of the Power Claw, which is this thing, and you're going to stick a few details onto it and the fingers, and that's about it. Got some finger pistons, that always means fun. Getting flashbacks to making the Warhound Titan now, ooh boy. And here we have what made this, actually swayed me to buy this. I wouldn't normally buy Titan melee weapons, not that I have lots of Titans to buy melee weapons for, but I wouldn't normally consider them. I went for this one though because it does come with a Vulcan Mega Bolter mounted on it, which actually makes it quite a viable option for tabletop. Yeah, so do like that. So yeah, there's the instructions. They certainly look neat and attractive, as all the more recent Forge World assembly guides do. Right, let's start off by looking at the Arioch Power Claw body. Now, the other really neat thing about this kit is you can make it either left or right-handed, so it's an ambidextrous model, which is another quite neat draw of it. So, you know, depending how you want to mount it, you can either have it on this side or this side of your Warlord, and the kit builds the same way each way. So let's take a look at this. Now, this is one of the first kits that they produced, so I'm expecting this to be very well turned out indeed. It should be pretty darn near perfect as an early release kit from the Weekender. It looks very nice. It's certainly nice and clean, very little in the way of release agent on it. This hasn't been washed, so yeah, it looks good. A little bit of a seam to sand away there, and no big deal. And maybe just a touch of tidy up there as well. And then here we've got the knuckle joints. and that's where the finger pistons are going to attach into there. Yeah, looks really good. Hardly any cleanup to do. I mean, there's a little bit, there's a little bit there if you're really fussy, and a couple of shims to take away there and there. But overall, that's an absolutely beautifully turned out piece. Fantastic. Right, let's dive into the bag of components. There's quite a lot of these. I'll tell you what, we're going to turn these out and then we're going to work through them. So what's this bit? This is, I think this is a power capacitor, and this is going to attach on to, let's see if we can find it. I think it's this piece here. That's it, yeah. So that is going to connect into there. Yeah, so let's have a look at these. So these are kind of like, this is like the power bank. A little bit of a seam to clean up. Fair bit of a seam to clean up there, but that will sort out okay. And on this one, which I'm more bothered about with it being cylindrical, little seam there, not much on the other side. Very nice detailing and consistent styling with the other Warlord weapons as well, particularly the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. Right, what should I have next? Right, then we've got the elbow joint. So this is standard fare for Warlords. That's very nicely done. Exactly the same design as what we saw on the Volcano Cannon and the Plasma Cannon as well. And then we have a set of power cables. These look any good. That's a bit of a faffy cleanup job there, you can see, with the seam running down the cable. But I've done so many of these, to be honest, it's just like another one. It's not too bad actually. I can see that being okay. Yeah, nice detail, nice part, like the look of that, like the styling. And then we've got a couple of armoured shields, which are going to kind of like make up almost like, I don't know what you would call this part of the hand. Anyone who knows their anatomy well, you can tell me. And there's two of these, so one is going to go on each side. The same sort of armour carapace designing as we've seen across the rest of the Warlord. Some seam to clean up there, just on the inside. Overall, that looks good. Yeah, like that. And then the second one, is it a... it's not completely identical, it's an opposite. So these are going to go sort of like this on either side of the fist. Let's take a look at this fella. Bit of clean up there, another shim to do, another seam there. Bit more seam work there. It's not too bad. Details well formed where it matters. Now, what else we got? Got a couple of little plates. I have no idea what these two do yet, unless they're part of the Mega Bolter. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe they are. I'll put those to one side for the moment. Right, there's another two armor plates that make up the gauntlet. Smaller than the first ones again. See, that's a bit of a seam to clean up there. I think that's all right. Not going to damage the rivets or get in the way of the rivets, taking those away. And then for this one, same again, little bits around the edges to do. Having cleaned up all the armor plates for the Warlord Titan, doing those isn't a big deal really, with the experience gained from doing the other task. Got this part here. This is the thumb mount, yes. Yeah, there you go. So you can either put that there or there, depending if you're going for left or right-handed mount. Figured that one out, quite chuffed with myself there. And let's get into some digits. Oh no, actually one more part. This is, before we get into the digits, that's going to attach into the... No, it's not going to do that. How is that going to mount? Oh, that's going to go in there, isn't it? There you go. That's right, that's going to go in there. And that's going to go like so. Yeah, so that's the elbow. If that's the elbow, does that make that the humerus? I'm not sure if that's the forearm or the rear arm. Got myself well confused there. I think we get the gist. Let's just go back to the instructions a second. Oh, it's the wrist, right, so it's a forearm in effect. Then you've got the elbow. There you go, so that's how those assemble. Onto the digits, we've got 2 sets of knuckles, or these are kind of like the first knuckle, the first digit. Very nice. Small seam there to take away. All these parts are very crisp. There's hardly any mold agent release on them. Bit more cleanup to do on these. That's going to need cutting and reshaping there. That may actually need some filling there. I'm not sure. That's a little bit less tidy. So yeah, a bit more to do on that pair. But the first pair, you know, there's a little bit of evidence of that slipping there. Not too bad, nothing that's beyond the realm of repair, shall we say. Right, so those are some knuckles. Let's do some more knuckles, or should I say the forefingers. I don't even know if these are all the same. I think these two are different. There you go. Bit of a puzzle on 18, yeah, so these are all the same, right? These are kind of like this section of the finger, so it's very well articulated. It does actually articulate like a real human hand. Bit scratchy there again. You see there's a small slip that's going to need sorting out. Overall though, pretty good. And really, in all fairness, there's very little work really to do. A couple of air bubbles to fill if you're really wanting to be precise. Good. Now let's do the thumb. So this is this particular tarsal or metatarsal. Oh, I forgot my human biology there. You can sort me out in the comments there if anyone knows. Seem to clean away there, little one there. And then this is kind of like the fourth thumb. Yeah, looks nice. Little clean up there to do across the rivets. I don't like mold seams across rivets. They have the potential for causing a lot of woe. And then finally, on the actual digits, we have the forefinger. They're all identical. We've got a similar styling between the forethumb and the forefingers, as you can see. Obviously the thumb is considerably larger, almost twice the width. Somewhat exaggerated proportions compared to an actual human body. The cool thing about this model is, as well as being able to make it left and right handed, you can make it as what you might call a fist or a true claw. And for those of us fancying the claw option, and I haven't decided yet, you get these fantastically long, wicked talons to mount in lieu of the forefingers. Let's take a look at these beasties. Of course, all the traitor players are going to want to use these, I guess. But, you know, it can be either a traitor or a loyalist. Just these things seem to have a bit more of a connection with the traitors. Nicely done parts, just a smallest amount of mold cleanup to do there. Very nicely turned out, and they almost look like pot plants there, don't they? Maybe bunny ears. Yeah, it's nearly Easter, isn't it? Yeah, perhaps these could be bunny ears hopping around. There's your surreal Easter moment on channel Leaky Cheese. And then before we move on to guns and ammo, we will just look at the finger pistons. Got a bit of a gacky mold seem to take away on that one. Looks like all of them are like that, yeah. Well, there you go. That's a bit, yeah, I don't like that. Pretty sloppy, that is. They will fix up though. Mixture of filling and cutting, those will clean up. It's just a bit, yeah, like that. That's just poor workmanship, turning that out like that. So, oh well, I suppose out of the kit thus far, they've done actually pretty well. This is often the case with Forge World, particularly the complex multi-part kits. There's often just one part that sneaks in that's a bit gacky. Let's talk about guns and ammo and take a look at this awesome Vulcan Mega Bolter housing that sits on top of the wrist. So here we have the Power Claw, and the Mega Bolter is going to go slap on there and gun down hordes of Astartes and other heretics and other, oh there you go, and other enemies. Now this is an optional weapon. It doesn't come as standard on the Power Claw. Certainly in 7th edition, where I'm looking at this review from, I'm not sure in 8th if that's an option on the Mega Bolter. If you were so inclined, this is a good candidate to magnetize. Now, given the attachment, it might require some clever positioning with the magnets, and you're going to have to fill where you mount the magnets later. But you know, the option's there. It's a potential. Right, let's look at this. This is kind of like the bit of the kit that particularly excites me. Let's have a look. So, well, stacks of detail, and it's a really nice rendition of a Vulcan Mega Bolter. Got all the targeting array and the cogitator array in there. Let's see what the actual quality of it's like. That's a slip there that needs sorting out. Probably filling that one. Lots of shims to take away, lots and lots of shims. And some little bits of cleanup around the edges, but a similar thing there where the mould's been cut, just sort of running in there as opposed to getting it around the edge, but perhaps not the easiest part to cut a mould around. And then I can't see the backs, but the backs, if we go back to the piece I talked about earlier, these plates I think are going to sit on the rear of these ammo bins. I'm presuming they're ammo bins, I don't know if they are. Little bits of tidy up to do, but pretty good overall. I do like. Now, of course, we've not got the full weapon there. We've also got these absolutely duty awesome Mega Bolter barrels. So Vulcan Mega Bolters are rotary heavy grade bolt cannon. They're absolutely beastly weapons in the game. So we've got a mould seam to take off there, and same there. Not ideal, but it will clean up, and at least it hasn't gone across the front, which would have been an absolute pain in the proverbials. They look great. They're going to look brilliant when they're mounted on there. See if we can do this without the shadow. There you go. When they're mounted on there and there, that's just going to be so cool. There we go. That is the full kit for the Mars Pattern Warlord Titan Arioch Power Claw by Forge World. This is the most expensive of the arm-mounted weapon options that have been produced for the Warlord Titan so far. But the reason for it is, as you can see, there's a lot more components to this than the other two guns. And yeah, as I say, it's a component count that drives it. I think as an actual modelling project, this has got a lot of potential, and there's huge posability in the actual claw, and in particular in the fingers. You could do all sorts with that. Rude gestures, waves, whatever you may fancy, so fill your boots there. And it's going to be a fun thing to do. And as a Titan melee weapon, the addition of the secondary weapon system, the Arioch Power Claw, actually gives it some real combat value, I think, because one of the things that the Warlord Titan is sometimes a bit of risk of having is a lack of anti-flyer firepower. Now, the Mega Bolter isn't a dedicated skyfire weapon. The Titan doesn't have it. However, by virtue of having 15 shots and strength 6, well, at a pinch it will work, as well as being able to mow down huge numbers of heavy enemy infantry, i.e. Space Marines. You know, mulch mechanicum robots be great at that. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on this kit. As always, I'll be very interested to hear what your thoughts are in the comments section. So please do share your observations. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.